Right now, there is a mass delusion happening on car lots across America. People are lining up to pay $5,000, sometimes $8,000 over book value for Toyota Highlanders and RAV4s because they are terrified of buying anything else. They think reliability only comes with a Toyota badge, and dealers are laughing all the way to the bank. They are selling you a plastic interior, thin paint, and road noise for a premium price, all because of hype that is about 5 years out of date. I've been a mechanic for 22 years. I've owned my own shop for the last 15, and I'm going to tell you something that might make some Toyota fanboys angry. The smartest buyers right now, the ones who actually hate losing money, aren't buying Toyotas. They are buying the luxury SUVs that share the exact same parts bin but have already taken the massive depreciation hit that the first owner paid for. I'm talking about luxury SUVs that are quieter, faster, and nicer to sit in, but when you pop the hood, you are looking at an engine I can fix with a socket set I bought at Harbor Freight. These aren't money pits, these are the cheat codes of the used car market. Today, I'm counting down 3 luxury SUVs that are actually cheaper to maintain than the Toyotas everyone is fighting over. If you want to stop burning money on reliability hype and start buying smart, this is the video for you. Let's get into it. Number 3, Cadillac XT5 2019 to 2024. Number 3 is going to shock you. A lot of you hear Cadillac and you immediately think electrical gremlins or North Star engine head gasket nightmares. And if this was 2005, I'd agree with you. But the Cadillac XT5 is the best kept secret in the domestic market for one simple reason. It is secretly a Chevy Blazer in a tuxedo. This SUV is built on the GM C1 platform. That is the same architecture used for the GMC Acadia and the Chevy Blazer. Why does a mechanic care about that? Because it means this car was designed for the rental fleet market. It was designed to be fixed quickly, cheaply, and with parts you can buy at literally any auto parts store in North America. I had a customer come in about 6 months ago, a guy named Dave. He was driving a 2016 Audi Q5. Beautiful car, but the air suspension had failed on the rear driver's side. The car looked like a lowrider on one corner. I quoted him the price for the parts, German air struts, and labor. It was $3,800. He looked like he was going to be sick. He asked me, what can I buy that feels like this but doesn't do this? I told him to go find a 2020 Cadillac XT5. He looked at me like I was crazy. A domestic? He asked. Here is the mechanic math on the XT5. Most luxury SUVs, like the Audi Q5 or the BMW X3, use complex air suspension systems that inevitably leak. The XT5 uses standard steel springs and struts. If a strut blows on an XT5, you can replace the entire suspension setup for under $1,000 using AC Delco parts. You are saving $3,000 on a single repair just because of how the car is built. Under the hood, you are getting the 3.6-liter LGX V6. Now, earlier versions of GM's 3.6-liter high-feature engine had timing chain issues. We all remember the mid-2000s. But by 2019, GM had largely sorted this out. The LGX is a workhorse. It doesn't have the over-engineered German sensors that fail and cost $800 just to diagnose. It's a naturally aspirated V6 pushing 310 horsepower. No turbos to cook the oil, no complex mild hybrid systems to glitch out. But you have to buy the right year. This is critical. Do not buy the 2017 model. That was the first year of production, and it was plagued with transmission software gremlins that made the car shudder and shift hard. It feels like you're being rear-ended every time it changes gears. Skip 2017 and 2018. Go for the 2020 to 2024 models. By 2020, they updated the infotainment system so it doesn't look like an old ATM, and more importantly, they refined the 9-speed automatic transmission. It shifts smooth, it's reliable, and it puts the power down. Here is the financial reality. You can pick up a loaded 2021 XT5 for thousands less than a Toyota Highlander of the same year. And when you need a brake master cylinder or a control arm, you aren't paying Cadillac luxury import prices. You are paying Chevy prices. You walk into AutoZone, ask for the part for a Chevy Blazer, and it bolts right on. That is how you drive luxury on a budget. Number 2, Acura RDX 2019 to 2024. Number 2 is the SUV that proves the turbo myth is dead wrong. I hear it all the time in the comments. I'll never buy a turbo. They're fragile, they blow up. And sure, if you're buying a cheap cruise or a poorly maintained European car, maybe. But Acura did something brilliant here. The Acura RDX from 2019 to 2024 uses a 2.0-liter turbocharged four-cylinder engine. But it's not just any engine. This is the K20C4. It's a detuned version of the engine found in the Honda Civic Type R, a track monster built to handle massive abuse. In the Type R, they squeeze every ounce of power out of it. In the RDX, it's only pushing 272 horsepower. Mechanically, that means this engine is sleeping. It is never stressed. It is overbuilt for what this SUV asks it to do. Let's talk about the transmission. While Toyota is moving everything towards CVTs, which feel like rubber bands and can be expensive to replace, and while other manufacturers are messing with dual clutch systems that are jerky in traffic, Acura put in a planetary 10-speed automatic. This is a real transmission. It has gears. It has a torque converter. It can be serviced with a simple fluid drain and fill. I had a regular customer, a real estate agent, who was driving a 2018 Honda CR-V with the 1.5-liter turbo and the CVT. At 110,000 miles, the CVT started whining, then it started slipping. The quote for a new CVT was $4,500. She was done. She wanted out. She asked me, is there anything Honda makes that doesn't have a CVT? I pointed her to the RDX. She bought a 2021 model. The difference in build quality is night and day, but the maintenance costs, they are almost identical to the CR-V with one major exception. Here is the mechanic's cheat code for the RDX. The only thing that kills these cars is neglect of the SHAWD, the super handling all-wheel drive. It's an incredible system. It vectors torque to the rear wheels to help you turn, but the rear differential fluid breaks down. Mechanics love this car because the fix is so easy. Every 30,000 miles, you need to change that rear diff fluid. It costs about $100 to $150 at a shop, or you can do it yourself for $40. Most luxury owners lease these cars and skip that service. Then at 100,000 miles, the diff starts making noise. If you buy one, check the service records. If that fluid has been changed, this car is bulletproof. Also, unlike the older V6 Hondas or some Lexus models that use a rubber timing belt, a $1,500 maintenance job every 7 years, the RDX uses a heavy-duty timing chain designed to last the life of the engine. That is $1,500 you never have to spend. Now, let's do the mechanic math. The RDX takes a luxury depreciation hit of about 40% in the first 3 years. Right now, you can buy a 2021 RDX with the tech package for less than a new marked-up Toyota RAV4 LE with cloth seats. You're getting a better engine, a better transmission, a quieter cabin, and a sound system that actually has bass, all for less money up front. And since it's basically a Honda underneath, the parts cost is negligible. It's a performance bargain that nobody is paying attention to because it doesn't have a Toyota badge. Number 1, Lexus RX 350 2016 to 2022. If you take nothing else from this video, listen to this. Number 1 is the ultimate cheat code in the automotive industry. It is the reason I tell my own family members not to buy the Toyota Highlander. The Lexus RX 350, specifically the 4th generation from 2016 to 2022, is mechanically identical to the Highlander in all the ways that matter, but built to a standard that Toyota doesn't even touch. The secret here is the engine, the G2R FKS. This is a naturally aspirated 3.5-liter V6. It is one of the most produced engines in human history. It's in the Camry V6, it's in the Sienna minivan, it's in the Tacoma, it's in the Highlander. Why does that matter to your wallet? Because when the water pump fails, and it's a mechanical part, it eventually will, you aren't buying a Lexus rare import water pump, you're buying a mass-produced Toyota water pump. Parts availability is 100%. Every shop in the country knows how to work on this engine. But here is where you win. The Toyota tax right now is out of control. A clean, low-mileage 2019 Highlander Limited is listing for nearly the same price as a 2019 Lexus RX 350. That is insanity. The Highlander is a great car, don't get me wrong, but the Lexus has double-pane glass, so it's quieter. The leather is actual leather, not that Softex synthetic stuff that cracks after 6 years in the sun. The paint is thicker, the suspension is tuned for comfort. you are getting a significantly better vehicle for the same money. And I'm going to give you a mechanic's insider detail that will save you thousands over the life of this car. It's called the part number hack. When you go to the Lexus dealer, they will try to sell you a Lexus oil filter or cabin air filter. A Lexus branded oil filter might be $15 or $20, but if you look at the part number, it's usually something like 04125YZZA. If you walk next door to the Toyota dealer and ask for that exact same number, you get the exact same filter in a red Toyota box for $6. It's the same with alternators. It's the same with brake pads. If you own an RX 350, never ask for parts by the car model. Ask by the part number. You will pay Toyota Camry prices to maintain a Lexus luxury SUV. Specific year advice: stick to the 2016 to 2022 models. These are the bulletproof years. In 2023, Lexus redesigned the RX and switched to a 2.4-liter turbo 4-cylinder. It's a more complex engine, it's under more stress, and we don't know the long-term reliability.
The V6 in the 2016-2022 models is legendary. I have seen these go 300,000 miles with nothing but fluid changes. However, you still need to inspect it. If you are standing on a used car lot looking at a 2019 RX 350, here is your 3-point inspection checklist. Do this before you even talk numbers. Check the timing cover for seepage. Get a flashlight and look at the passenger side of the engine, right where the metal cover meets the engine block. The 2GR engine is famous for a very slow oil seep here. It's not catastrophic, but the dealer will quote you $3,000 to reseal it because they have to drop the engine. If you see oil grime there, use it to negotiate $1,500 off the price. Then just leave it alone. It rarely drips enough to matter. It just looks dirty. Test the door lock actuators. Walk around the car and hit the lock-unlock button on the fob 10 times. Watch every single door lock tab. If one of them is lazy or doesn't move, that actuator is failing. It's a common Toyota Lexus quirk. It's about a $400 fix per door at a shop. Look for the pink crust. Shine your light down at the water pump and the inside of the hood insulation. Toyota coolant is pink. If the water pump is starting to weep, it sprays a fine mist that dries into a pink, crusty powder. If you see pink spray, the water pump is on its way out. It's a straightforward fix, but don't pay full price for a car that needs it immediately. Look, the market is shifting. People are holding on to their cars longer, and prices on reliable brands are staying artificially high. But reliability isn't about the badge on the grille. It's about the engineering under the hood. The Cadillac XT5, the Acura RDX, and the Lexus RX 350. These are 3 vehicles that the market has undervalued. They offer you the comfort you want with the mechanical simplicity I like to see. Don't be the guy who pays $35,000 for a used Highlander with cloth seats just because your neighbor said Toyotas never break. Be the smart buyer who drives the Lexus for the same price and pays $6 for oil filters. If this helped you, hit subscribe so you don't make a $10,000 mistake on your next car. I've got more videos coming on which pickup trucks are actually worth buying this year. Drive safe, take care of your car, and it'll take care of you. I'll see you in the next one.